I'm Cătălin Zimazegreanu. I'm the lead designer and writer for Yaga.
So talk about what this game's all about. It's a very interesting RPG.
Yeah, it's an action RPG about a one-handed blacksmith who is cursed with bad luck, and he's set in the world looking to solve his bad luck. But also, on top of that, the evil Tsar sends him on impossible quests, and he has to do some really hard things in order to survive, because the Tsar wants him dead. And at the same time, the strong witch Baba Yaga just wants to manipulate him into doing her own wishes.
So where did the idea for this game come from?
Our first inspiration was from stories we read as kids. Being from an ex-communist country, we had access to a lot of storybooks coming from Russia, and those stories stayed with us. And we picked a couple of them and said, okay, what could we do with these stories to make an interesting narrative-led game? And we did a lot of research and also got a lot of illustrations from storybooks and Russian painters. And we put that all in together and came up with this game.
Your game has a very fun, unique art style. Where did that come from?
That came from several, so the inspiration was from artists from Russian story tales, like Ivan Bilbin, and our artists took that and they said, okay, let's give a modern twist to this and see how we can make it look like a fairy tale book and make it move like something interesting. So the artists have did a lot of wonderful concept art. They explored lots of different ideas, and we came up with this one.
It actually kind of really does look like a illustrated pop-up book almost.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Like just open a book and see. We even have small brushes in there, and you can see it looks like it's been painted by hand.
So talk about the gameplay. Like you said you're a one-handed blacksmith, and I'm guessing you have abilities you unlock and upgrade and stuff like that, and different weapons.
Yeah, since you're a blacksmith, you can forge your own tools and hammers. And besides the hammers, which you can customize with over 50 different enhancements and mix them up, you also have different, let's say, improvised secondary weapons. So, for example, you find a cartwheel and you put it you tie it to your hand stump and you use it as a shield, or you can get a shovel and you can dig under the earth. And all of these secondary weapons give you different traversal and combat options. And the hammer crafting lets you play the game in lots of different ways.
So the game is routed in humor, correct?
Yeah.
It's not like because at a glance it looks like a serious game, but it's actually kind of funny.
That's one part of the Slavic culture that we actually wanted to focus on, because like you saw Slavic culture being highlighted in the Witcher series, but they give a very dark tone to it, a very serious tone. But in all the stories we've read, there's always this little bit of dark humor, a little bit of self-deprecating characters. So we wanted to highlight that, and we researched lots of small little stories and encounters and tried to get that humor into our game.
Any video games you looked for inspiration while you were creating it? Diablo, Monkey Island, anything like that?
From the gameplay point of view, we used the Bastion and Hyperlight Drifter as a reference for the combat. And for the, let's say, the aesthetics of the game, we took lots of inspiration from Guacamole. Like they did beautiful work highlighting the Mexican culture. So we tried to do something similar for that with the Slavic culture.
So when does your game come out and what platforms will it be on?
The game comes out this fall, and it's going to be on PC, consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, and also on Apple devices.